Hey, what's up, y'all? What's good? Damo Illusion back for episode 2, and I'm gonna call this one when you outgrow your environment, things become scary. Things get scary. So it's a cold day in New York. Got the big boy on, got the Marmot Mammoth. If you don't know what a big boy is, and I just wanted to say straight up, yo. Being warm when it's cold is a luxury. Not everybody has a coat. Some people out here with hoodies, and it ain't always by choice. Some people are just, unfortunate. So I just wanted to say, being warm when it's cold, being prepared when it's cold like this is a luxury, and you don't take that for granted. So I'm very grateful for that. And I'm talking about the environment. So, I'm talking about how it's being cold, but when I'm talking about when you outgrow your environment, it becomes scary. I believe the person that you are isn't solely dictated by the environment. Now, what do I mean by that? Yeah, there's a lot of people that'll tell you you're a product of your environment, but not necessarily. So where I grew up, where I'm from, people sell drugs. People join gangs, people go to jail, people do a lot of things just to get by, just to make money. People rob, people shoot, people do all these things where I'm from. And I didn't become that. I didn't become a product of my environment. I was fortunate enough, I was raised right, I was able to escape past those things, but also had my own conscience. I mean, at a young age, when I was I remember when I was young, 8 years old, I had my own room. I had a big room too at this point. And I looked out the window. I had broke night. Like I was watching a movie. I broke night. The sun rose up. It was like 6 in the morning. And I remember looking out that window and telling myself, I never want to join a gang and I never want to go to prison. And I was 8 years old when I made that decision. And I'm standing here right now at 29, and I never joined a gang, and I never went to prison. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe that the environment that we're in, we have to adapt. Like we have to be what's in their environment. You understand? I do think and believe that adaptation is necessary, whatever environment that you in. You just can't be walking around and you around lions and you out here looking like a gazelle, because you're gonna become fooled. Like if you walking around where I'm from and you look like you don't know where you at and you look like you scared of your environment, of course you're gonna get tested because you're making yourself a target. But if you walking around with your head held high, with confidence, and you don't have that fear and you have that belief in yourself, you can conquer your environment. You could be who you are in your environment. Look at me. I don't let the people in my environment tell me what I'm supposed to be. I am who I am. Like for real. So at the end of the day, this whole talk where, oh, you are your environment, that's not true. I remember years ago in my early 20s, I hated my environment. I was upset. I was looking at things and I was blaming the outside world. I was blaming my environment. I blamed New York. My voice cracked. But I blamed New York for my shortcomings, for the things that I wasn't doing to make myself happy. And like a mentor of mine, Jim Rome, very, very, very knowledgeable person, rest in peace, Jim Rome. I remember watching one of his videos back then, like when I was in my early 20s as well. And I remember he said, you can't curse what you got. You can't damn what you got. That's all you got. How am I, in my right sense of mind, gonna curse my environment? Curse where I'm from? This is all I got to work with. I gotta appreciate this. I gotta be grateful with this. And I gotta work with what I got. I can't be out here damning my environment like, oh, cursing it like, oh, it's your fault. Like, no. This is what you got. This is all you got. Make the most out of this. And when I realized that, and also I got to travel outside of the state, I went to a different state. I had stepped out in Texas, and I got to see how life was different out there, and it's not like the city. I got to appreciate in my environment a little more, because it made me realize, damn, like all this time I was looking at New York as the problem. Now, granted, not everybody is for New York, and New York isn't for everybody. And this environment, a lot of people leave this environment. But I truly do believe that you have to be happy internally, and you have to be growing and evolving internally, so your environment doesn't affect you. So this talk of being a product of your environment is not true, not 100%. But here's the part that gets scary. And this is why I say, when you outgrow your environment, you become scary. Because at the age of 8, I already knew I didn't want to be in a gang, and I didn't want to go to prison at the age of 8. If I knew that, what you think when I turned 15, 16, 20, 25? Like, I started thinking above my environment. I'm like, yo, there's people out here that gotta struggle and make their money. They gotta sell drugs. They gotta do all of these things. Some people are forced to do it. They don't have any other options. But then there's other people that they fall victim to their environment, and they start following everybody, and they become a follower. And now, instead of standing out and standing tall and being who you are, now you're trying to be like everybody else. And the reason, oh, there's a squirrel. The reason that you could be here and outgrow your environment, here's the thing. When you have a different mentality than everybody else, when you stand out and you know you're different and you know you're destined for different things in life, people aren't gonna understand you. You're gonna be misunderstood, and a lot of the times you're not gonna fit in. I don't fit in my environment, but I stand out, and I'm respected in my environment because I don't walk around with fear, because I know who I am. And I don't put myself in compromising positions with people that aren't like-minded like I am. So this is what this is all about. When you outgrow your environment, when you outgrow the people around you, it gets scary, because now your potential, now what you could become is limitless. And that's real talk. When you outgrow your environment, people aren't going to want you around. People aren't going to feel comfortable around. People are going to look at you like that weirdo, like that dude is different, like that dude, or even that girl, that woman, oh, I don't like her. But they don't like you because they aren't you, and they don't understand your path, and they don't understand your walk. You feel me? So at the end of the day, when you outgrow your environment, it becomes scary. It becomes scary for the people that you're around, whether it be family, whether it be friends, whether it just be people from the neighborhood, because you a wild card to them. They don't know what to expect. They don't know who you are, but you know who you are. You know what your values are. You know what you care about. And your job isn't to be here living your life trying to explain yourself to people and trying to make people feel comfortable. Let them feel uncomfortable. Let them. Because that's what makes it scary for them. Now, how's it scary? How's it more scary? It's scary for you. Because now every time when you interacting with your environment, when you interacting with set people, when you in these places, you have to always be on point. You have to always be on guard. You have to always look at things on a deeper level and not just surface level. Because you're going to be targeted. Because you're different. So when I say scary, I don't mean be in fear and live in fear and be afraid and walk around like with your tail between your legs and be modest. I'm not saying be scared. But I'm saying be conscious and be aware of your surroundings and be aware of your environment. Because on a day-to-day, week to week, month to month, year to year, you conquer your environment. And a lot of people aren't going to like that. And a lot of people aren't going to understand that. And a lot of people ain't that. So when you conquer your environment and you stand tall and you are who you are unapologetically, things don't get nothing but better. And with that, I'm going to let y'all go. This is Damo Illusion. I came to conclusion. Like it up. Subscribe. Do what y'all got to do. See ya.